you hear the story about the girl who said she heard her boyfriend get killed while she was on the phone with him? Well, she said it was a few years ago. She was living in Chicago at the time. She was out and about, taking the train, doing her business, when all of a sudden this guy comes up to her. He looks at her, he smiles, and he's like, "Can I get your number?" So she said she looked him up and down. He looked like he had on his uniform, like he was working. So she was like, "All right, he looked decent." So she gave it to him. She said he just walked away without even asking her for her name or telling her his name. And she was like, "That's odd." But he surely texted her that night. And then he introduced himself through text, asked her if she had time to talk. She said yes. She said they had a great conversation. They was getting along. So they was talking for some weeks and then seeing each other. And after 2 weeks, he came to her and he started saying, "Oh, I'm so in love with you. I want you to be my girl. Would you be my girlfriend?" And even though it was fast, she told him, yeah, because she said she ain't never really had no real boyfriend that asked her to be their girlfriend. And she really wanted some attention. So she gave him a shot. After that, things were going fine. They would hang out, spend time until all of a sudden he came to her and he was like, I got something to tell you. My mom don't like girls that's from Chicago, so she ain't gonna never want to meet you. And none of my family either. And she was like, I don't even care because I already got a mama. I don't need your mama to like me. She ain't really mine. So he was like, all right. And he'll be going on about his business and they were still doing fine. And one day she said he just showed up at her house without calling or anything. And she opened the door like, what's up? And he said, it's a family reunion today. Get dressed. We going. You about to meet my family. And she was like, well, how am I going to meet your family when your family don't even like me? And he's like, look, we going to deal with it when we get there. Get dressed. So she said she just got dressed and said, fuck it, I'm going to go. So they get to this family reunion. It's an outside barbecue. It's summertime. And everybody's looking at her funny, but they start coming up to her, introducing themselves. Hey, are you Z? And she was like, yeah. And everybody was being really nice and cordial, asking her questions, telling her welcome. Then all of a sudden, a woman walks up to her and says, hey, are you Z? And she's like, yes. And then she looks at the woman. She said, are you his mom? And the lady says, yes. And the lady started smiling because she was telling her, wow, you look so young. She said the lady looked like that could have been his sister. And they was up there kikiing together and smiling, but when her boyfriend saw that was happening, he pulled her away and said, come on, let's go sit in the car for a second. So when they get in the car and she's like, what's up? And he's like, I don't know why my mama being so phony to you like that. She knows she don't like you. She told me she don't like you. I don't know why she ain't smiling in your face. And the girl was like, look, it don't matter because, it don't feel phony to me, so it shouldn't be a problem. So then he tell her, I had this bad feeling. And she's like, what's up? And he's like, I have a feeling I'm going to die this summer. And she was like, why would you feel like that? And he's like, man, these guys, they after me. I have a feeling it's other people around me that's been dropping, and I have a feeling it's going to be me next. And she's like, okay, well, be safe. So they still dating and things are going well. And all of a sudden he calls her and he's like, I have a feeling it's going to be tonight. And she's like, what do you mean it's going to be tonight? And he says, I think that they're going to come and get me and I don't know what to do. And she's like, wait. And he's like, I'm tired of hiding from them. I'm just going to send them my location and let it be over with. And she's like, okay, that's fine. And he's like, stay on the phone with me. And she stayed on the phone with him. And all of a sudden they said they're going to be here in 5 minutes. And she was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, they coming. And he was sounding all nervous. And she was on the phone with him like, yo, you need to do something about this. But all of a sudden, next thing you know, she hears the phone drop. Then she hears pow, 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 pow. And then people screaming and running around. Then next thing you know, she hear the ambulance go by. And she's like looking at the phone like, oh my gosh, she hangs up. So for the rest of the night, she just freaking out. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't really know his family like that. I'm just going to leave it alone. She looking on the internet to see if she hear anything. She don't see anything. The next morning she wakes up and then it's her phone. Her phone is just steady ringing back and forth, back and forth, back and back and back and back. Text message. She's looking at these numbers that she don't know. She checked the text message and it looks like it's from his family. They're all blaming her. It's your fault this happened to him. It's your fault. You did this. I can't wait to catch you. I'm going to catch you. She just blocked all of them just to get them out her face. Finally, everything calmed down and she's like, you know what? There's nothing I can do but wait till if I hear something, but there ain't nothing more I can do. So she just going on about her business and she don't hear from him. She don't hear nothing from his family, nothing for months. And then 2 months go by and she just gone about her business. And one day she's at the mall. She said she was getting some her film developed, like her pictures developed. And when she happened to look out onto the food court, guess who she see? She see him, her boyfriend, sitting in a food court with a girl and a baby. She was like, what? So she was like, maybe my mind playing tricks on me, because she had thought she saw him before on the train. But she was like, nah, I know this man ain't haunting me. I know he ain't haunting me from beyond the grave. But this was different. This was real. She took out her phone and she started taking pictures of them sitting down there, the girl, the baby, him, all that, just so she can have it, so it could be real. She sent it to a group chat and was like, look, I think this is my boyfriend who supposedly died 2 months ago, and all of a sudden he's here. And his friends started her friends started doing investigation. They found out who the girl is. They give her the girl Instagram. They give her the girl information, and they reach out to the girl and say, hey, is this man your boyfriend? And then the girl was like, nah, that ain't my boyfriend. I mean, she said, yeah, that's my boyfriend, but that's not my baby daddy. But he think that that's his baby. Why? What's up? And she was like, oh. And then the girl was like, oh, you calling on behalf of somebody else? So basically the girl said she wanted to talk to the real girl. So the real girl called her, Z called her, and they started talking. And she was like, and she was just telling them about their relationship and how he supposedly had died 2 months ago. And she was like, died? What are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, I was on the phone with him. And she said, oh, she said, you know what? 2 months ago, he asked me to play a prank on his cousin, and he wanted me to send a bunch of text messages to them and act like my cousin had died. And I thought it was just funny. I didn't know it was sent to you. And she was like, what? He was like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but you know what? Let's get him back. So her and the girlfriend decided to conspire together and meet up and try to get back at him. And she said when they met up, they went to his house, outside his house, where his car was still parked. And the girl came with a bag full of snacks. And she didn't know what she was going to do with a bag full of snacks. But the girl took out the Snickers bar, put it in this gas tank, started putting Cheerios and syrup all over his car. And she said, you know what? I wasn't going to participate, but it was fun to watch. And as she told the girl, look, I don't want to have nothing to do with this, she walked away like thinking, dang, both of them crazy.